Queen's Park Rangers. The four ahead of them also stay in place, with Cheick having suffered a toe injury in the last league match with Leicester, so Japanese international Daichi Kamada keeps his place in the team. The early indications are that Eddie Nketiah's role at Palace will be redefined from the one he filled at Arsenal. Jean-Philippe Mateta has hit the ground running again, getting on the score sheet 4 times. Nathaniel Clyne, who drops out from the Leicester match, is on the substitutes bench, along with Ismaila Sarr, whose last Premier League goal in his Watford days was against today's opponents. Erik ten Hag has played up the differences of this United team over the one humiliated here last season, and Andre Onana is one of only 5 of the starters from that night who's in the first 11 for the Selhurst Park return. Diogo Dalot is the only surviving defender, with Mazraoui and De Ligt both having been added to the squad since then. Christian Eriksen and Kobbie Mainoo did both start in May, and it's a surprise to many that Eriksen is preferred to Manuel Ugarte. It's surprising too that Marcus Rashford doesn't make the starting team, having just found his scoring boots again. Alejandro Garnacho, like Rashford, got 2 in the midweek rout of Barnsley. But Ten Hag keeps faith with Joshua Zirkzee, even though he hasn't scored since he came off the bench to beat Fulham on his debut. The squad as a whole has more depth now that Mason Mount and Rasmus Højlund are both available again after injury. Højlund has yet to turn out for United this season.
Understand it, but it might mean he can find a bit more space easier. Garnacho, he started the season in fine form, so no surprise he's starting here. Full of confidence, really enjoying his football. He could give his side an outlet tonight, I think, with his pace and willingness to run with the ball.
Well, looking to create the atmosphere that makes this place special. 100 years of football has now been played at Selhurst Park. Anniversary that Crystal Palace are looking to celebrate in style this season. And it is Palace who get the game underway, with Kobbie Mainoo having to try and hold up their Eze. Few would have forecast Erik ten Hag still being in charge of Manchester United after the defeat they suffered here in May. The Manchester United boss has been understandably keen to emphasise the differences between his team now and the side then, when he had a centre-back pairing with a combined age of 68, one of whom, Casemiro, wasn't even playing in his regular position.
Yeah, it was a car crash that night, no doubt about it. What could go wrong did. Really interesting, Erik ten Hag talking about the need to compete physically as much as anything else here. And for that reason, I agree with the lads in the studio. I am a little surprised that Ugarte's not playing in the middle of the park there. The manager talking about the fact he hasn't got 90 minutes in his legs. I don't know.
And here's the problem. Well, De Ligt gets the benefit of David Coote's decision, because otherwise Mateta would have been away.
One of those, it's accidental clip as they just cross paths. But because he's through on goal, you've got to give the foul.
Well, the way in which he fell then, De Ligt was determined that the free kick was going to be his.
Well, he's a man reborn, isn't he? Especially under Oliver Glasner. Cannot stop scoring.
It is an incredible run that Jean-Philippe Mateta is on. 15 Premier League goals in his last 17 outings. And the injury suffered to De Ligt in that coming together with Mateta was to his boot, and he wants to come back on quickly, but he's voluntarily taken himself off the field of play and has to wait to be invited back on, which he is now. Here's Amad Diallo, just finding a bit of a gap, and it's away by Chris Richards.
Yeah, just conceding the corner a little easily there, I thought, Richards.
Eriksen, who's taking the corner, is the player many expected to drop out to accommodate Ugarte in the team. Eriksen's kick all the way across to De Ligt, whose header is straight at Dean Henderson. He's got the taste for goals after the one he got at Southampton. Released by Henderson too hurried for Munoz.
Yeah, I mean, they'd worked on that. Munoz knew it was coming. It would have been on with a better ball.
We shouldn't forget that Palace have changed too since the 4-0 beating of Manchester United here last season. Michael Elise, who scored twice in the win here, no longer with them, and nor is Joachim Andersen, who got Palace's winner at Old Trafford, with Palace getting their first ever league double over Manchester United. Here's Tyrick Mitchell, who scored in the home win.
And it was always the back four, wasn't it, with Anderson and Gahey, that solid central pair. Glasner prefers this 3/5.
Manchester United, there was a tremendous end to last season for Crystal Palace.